So we wanted to spend a few minutes in speaking about the sequencing of the Live with Intent modules. Let's look at a real life situation. I was coaching a client 2 weeks ago, and we did the welcome, we went into trust, had a wonderful segment in trust. But then towards the end of trust, it became evident that, you know what, auto-suggestion would now be the right next step. So rather than go into freedom and go into the elements of proactivity, I chose at the time to then go into auto-suggestion, which really solved a challenge we had in the trust area, or was almost like, the tool and the solution and putting it into practice. So what I want to say with that is, there will be moments where you'll want to leave the sequence in order to support the client. That's not typical, but it can happen.
Yeah, so what's the principle there, Thomas? The principle is go for impact and trust the process. So again, these modules are sequenced for a reason. So trust in that sequence, follow it through, and use your intuition to respond to a need with a tool that you know is in one of the later modules.
We put a lot of thinking and a lot of care into how we designed the sequencing of the module, right? Starting with where really is your coachee now? Supporting your coachee in the definition, where in the big picture they are right now. And then as a next step, you supporting them in where do they want to go to? What are the different elements of their future horizon? Finding that horizon, defining that horizon, and actually becoming very pragmatic and very clear, not just strategic, but also becoming pragmatic and very clear about how to get there, which then is the next part, how will I get there, as the third big part. So we put a lot of thought into that, and they build on each other, on those three big questions of where you are now, where you want to get to, and how will you get there.
And what I've learned in coaching a lot of people through this pathway is those people who have completed where we are now, and they've gone deep in trust and have a sense of trustworthiness, when they've completed the freedom work and take full responsibility for where they are in life, when they've learned how to articulate and express gratitude, and they, in Principle 4, have this sense of peace about where they are in life and the confidence that goes along with that, that builds a platform to think really big when you go to Principle 5, your plan. And those people who have done that work are usually bolder and more brave in the type of plan they lay out for themselves. And then once they have that plan, how do you visualize it? How do you recognize the power of your words and know that your words have creative power in Principle 7? And in 8, how do you use auto-suggestion formulas to help accelerate and drive success? And then, as you already said, Thomas, in the last section, the last 4 principles are all about how do you execute.
So you want to follow the pattern for highest impact, right? Because it does click, it does come together. However, as a coach, you have one wonderful tool, and that is your intuition, right? We never want to just be mechanical. So we want to support you in also following your intuition, but it doesn't mean that that is always outside the pattern.
And even if you go outside of the pattern, reconnect to the big picture, be really clear about why you're going outside of the pattern, and then come back to it so that you get the building effect. And what our experience is if you follow that pattern, or when you follow that pattern, you'll have the highest impact.
So our invitation in one sentence without comma is follow the pattern.